Well, we're back for Underground.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. Introducing first, from Miami, Florida, Lola Vice.
And for the first one in a while, it's good to be in Sheffield, the home of the old Underground Arena. Now the show will be touring and bringing that atmosphere to new locations week in and week out with the upgraded stage and lighting. It's going to be fun here tonight as well. Draft week continues, it's rounding out and culminating with another set of rounds to be drafted in. But before we get to the draft picks, we've got an opening matchup here tonight. And the Moneymaker and Lola Vice are working together to kick off the night.
And her partner from Boston, Massachusetts, CEO.
Says Monet. Lola Vice tagging together. This should be pretty epic. A lot of potential from these two ladies. Obviously, Monet last year competed in the showdown, fell short. This year, obviously, coming into this new era. I hate using that term now. Considering we called the breakdown brand roster split the new era, now we're into the continuation of that era, but on a different brand. But who are the opponents of Vice and Monet? Well, one is the face of this women's division here on IPW Underground. The new top dog, the Beautiful Madness.
And their opponents, first from Tokyo, Japan, the Women's Grand Prix Champion, Julia.
Well, she walked into last weekend an underdog to win it all. She battled tooth and nail through each and every battle to finally walk out with that championship around her waist. She overcame all the odds. And, well, now fits as Showdown champion. This is kind of the first time we're seeing this championship outside of, obviously, that grand finals matchup between Liv Morgan and Julia. But the question stands, is Julia top star material? Can she remain champion and have a long and successful reign? That's the real question. But what's more important is knowing who she is teaming with here tonight. And it looks like we've got a full lineup of champions on the opposition side.
Accompanied by Andre Chase from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Women's Underground Champion, the Hell.
Well, it's only fitting that their first matchup back on IPW Underground features the Women's Underground Champion, Thea Hale. It's been a while since we've seen her. Can she deliver alongside the new top dog? It was originally planned that Ludwig Kaiser wanted the Underground and Showdown champions to battle one another to unify the belts, but not the case anymore. Instead, it is your mid-card and main card, or main event card, don't know why I'm adding the word card, but your main event title as well. So we've got our 2 divisions set up for the women here on this brand. And, well, what's more important to note is we are seeing certain teams sort of forming. Alliances brewing, and, well, the champions, they know that they've got really no allies. No protection due to the fact that, well, everyone wants their belts. That's why they're going to have to work together here. Take down 2 competitors who probably will be in the hunt for both Thea and Julia's championships. An early cover here for Hale. Gets a 2 count over Lola. And Vice. Ooh, stiff roundhouse. Gonna drop Thea to the canvas. Sweeping out the legs. Lola. Putting some pressure down onto the Underground champion as now Mercedes Moné into the fray. Gonna put Thea in the corner, but a quick fight out there by Hale, who has brought out Andre Chase, her mentor as such, to come assist her in this matchup. Irish whip again reversed. These whips in tag team bouts really never seem to work out the way they should do, but oh, Monet just gonna launch Hale to the floor off that top turnbuckle. It's a long flight down to the canvas. Stiff shots there, Monet putting her feet to good use. And then some stiff jabs to the body of Hale. And you gotta think, the beautiful madness. He's battled through some tough competition to get to where she is now. Obviously, a long reign with the Sapphire Championship, relinquished it to come over here to Underground as the top dog, the Showdown champion. But you look at the names that she's had to beat to really get to this place. Not just in the Showdown. If you think in her reign, Kiana James, one of the big names this year, I should say. As well as several other battles against stars. Just so that she can stay in the hunt. I know she battled Julia Hart. Tekla's been in the hunt. Speaking of Tekla, she battled in the Sapphire Championship main event. On yesterday, at the time of this recording. Which reminds me to launch that episode of IPW Underground of Breakdown. Good job, me. But yes, a big episode there. And now a big episode of IPW Underground. Obviously, change up in the structure from what we saw prior, as Andre Chase getting involved, distracting Mercedes, giving Thea an opportunity to strike. Hip toss, causing Monet to be taken off guard. But yes, we saw a new champion crowned on yesterday's episode of Breakdown. And we could see more new champions forming as well. Draft week has certainly started to take shape. Now, what I will say is Breakdown is waiting more or less to the end of this week to do all their picks. They're letting the two brands battle, strip the Breakdown roster of stars, and then they will come in and just take who they like. Simple as that. As well, Solo Sikoa, he's never had the best of time during brand supremacy. Eve Torres of Primetime typically seems to have the advantage when it comes to brand rosters battling, but going into Fearless with the fact that well, it's not going to be just a two-way dance. It's a three-way with top champions across all three brands battling, as well as mid-card champions. The questions will be asked as, is it just a fluke? Because, let's be honest, the teams that can be put together to represent each brand are certainly a lot more different to how it was several moons ago. As right now, Julia hammerlocks up and takes Lola up top for a spinning Michinoku. It's a big, prolific maneuver in her kit. She utilized it effectively to win the championship. And usually she follows it up with either Northern Lights Bomb or an Arrivederci. Not going to be the case just yet. She's baiting, trying to get Lolo into the action. Lolo misses. She does hit back on a shot to the body to protect herself from Julia's double axe. Vice is getting a little taunty here. And that gives Julia a chance to tag out. Vice striking true. An axe to the back. That kick on point. Julia stood up. She can break that up quite easily. She was slow to get out the ring, so going to use that to her advantage. But Vice, Irish Rip reversed. Sometimes it's really hard to speak. Tiredness does that to you. But Hale, she's not feeling sleepy. She's on the offensive. Irish Whip. Again reversed. Lola leaps into the shot though. He's going to put down Thea and stomp away at her. And what's more important is obviously tonight your main event is a title matchup. Not for the Showdown Championship, oh no siree. Kurt Angle in action. He will be defending his Underground Championship for the first time in a long time. That'll be certainly interesting. And you got to feel Thea Hale will probably be defending hers next week. Who that will be against, that's unclear. Maybe it will be Lola Vice if she's able to beat Hale this week. But that will obviously pan out, as right now Hale caught a clothesline from Monet. Monet's shot's going to be blocked as well. Hale, kick down south, connecting and up and over, twisting the neck of Monet into the canvas. Tag out. In comes the beautiful Madness now. She can pick up the scraps left by her champion compatriot. Monet gonna capitalize though. Off the ropes. Spinning discus. Forearm shot. Then a scoop slam. Monet lining up the target. Looking to be on point. Springboards in. Boot connect. But up comes the champion. Julia catching Monet. Sends it to the corner. What's she thinking here? Answer, nothing. Because Monet's fighting back. Sends Julia running. A drop down. And then it's a little shoulder touch between the two. Miscommunication, maybe. But that's not miscommunication. A Falcon Arrow. Julia does the deal. The deal could be ending this match. Fisherman's Buster. The champion. Closing this matchup, you have to feel. But Monet still has fight left in her. Single leg takedown and then mounting some forearm shots. Cover here as well for Monet. Julia, a quick kick out. She's not really taking too much damage. She's kind of stood at the apron and then bided her time waiting to just get into this action as the champ. And well, now she's in trouble. Shoulder breaker from Monet, going to force Julia to ringside. Rolling out to avoid any follow-up damage, but that gives Monet an avenue to escape to bring in her partner, Lola Vice. And Lola, she's lining up Julia to shot down south. Follow up with full combo into the sleeper. Rear naked almost. Falls back into it. Julia going to break the grapevine up and over just to get out of that situation. Good work by the champion who avoids a follow-up. She's caught Lola. Hooks her up for a little Northern Lights bomb. Down goes Vice. And the champion's not done. The headbutt on point. A little added extra to put Vice to sleep. But someone who isn't asleep, still able to protect her partner, is Mercedes Monet. But she can't stop her now. Hammerlock top, taken up top. And the spinning Michinoku plants Vice center of the ring. The cover comes through. And the beautiful Madness looks to be victorious in her first match as champion. Dominance from the beautiful Madness, showing why she is the top dog here on Underground. For Hale, she also had a good showing. She kept the team in it to then bring in the closer. And Julia happily closed this matchup in victory. As we're watching these replays on foil, it's this maneuver she's utilized so many times in that road to the showdown to pick up victory. Plants Vice center of the ring, and it's just academic. The cover comes through for the 3.
Here are your winners, the team of Julia and Thea Hale.
Well, the champ's victorious in the opener tonight. Let's see what other action we have for you here on the new IPW Underground. Well, welcome to round 5 of Draft Week. This is the 5th round. If you missed the previous 4, you need to watch IPW Primetime earlier this week. But let's see who's heading where. And we kick off the night. Primetime's Victoria is joining the Underground. A nice, solid pickup there to strengthen the women's division. To Primetime, it's Breakdowns Nakamura, who lost to JBL just this week in that KO fest. Well, that's a big pickup. The Redeemer. He's been hunting foes and conquering them week in and week out. Now he's going to be let loose in the Underground. Well, Primetime, they want the Brit. They've got the national treasure, the former NWA World Champion Nick Aldis, joining the brand. And well, when you talk about Aldis, you immediately think of Adam Pearce. He's not staying on the same brand as Aldis. He's heading into the Underground.
John Cena.
Big Match John is rabbit-doing his way to Primetime. And we're not done yet. That's a big pickup for IPW Underground. A uprising finalist of that Prospects Cup. But she fell short there. Someone who isn't short, though, is the big, great Khali. He's joining the Primetime roster. And we continue with the picks. Do you believe, because I certainly do, that Joe Hendry can make an impact on Underground? And well, he lost his championship on Monday, well, early in the week. He still remains with Primetime, though, having been drafted. A massive 5th round to kick off the show. How about we have a taste of more in-ring action with potentially some of the new picks? Well, I have never heard this song.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Boise, Idaho, Tori Wilson.
In IPW before, but this is a debut and a half. Welcome to Underground, Miss Tori Wilson. Big pickup here for the roster. And we're continuing with the women's division. We need to set the tone to understand who's gonna thrive and potentially challenge Julia and Thea Hale in the future. But a big debut here then for Tori Wilson. Up against probably a big name in the underground, but finally drafted to the brand. It's Zoe Stark.
And her opponent from Las Vegas, Nevada, Zoe Stark.
One of the early adopters into the underground. A record 2-2. Obviously, back when IPW Underground was all about your rankings, about your win-loss record. Now, a more solid roster of stars battling it out for 2 championships now, as well as a tag team championship. All available to be claimed by some of these stars. But yes, a singles matchup now between 2 names now finding their way back into the underground or debuting in IPW entirely. As Wilson mounting some offense here onto Stark to get this action going. Headbutt from Zoe. The kick not going to connect, and Stark now getting her combo going. Fisherman suplex. And when we talk about Stark, it is this MMA style. A lot of the underground roster was built around that sort of mixed martial arts, that brawling sort of attitude. To have someone like Tori Wilson enter the ranks, it certainly changes the stylization, the battles that we can potentially see. With more matches on the card, as that back elbow will connect, there's certainly chances for these other wrestlers. In fact, when we used to run IPW Underground, 3 matches total, you used to think in a week of IPW, you would only get to see 15 matches. Now we're up to a crisp 18. With this show getting another 3. It's perfect for the madness. And I, for one, really need to come to grasp with having to cast an extra 6 matches a week. A springboard offense, a battle of this one as well. As a crossbody here for Stark going to land on target. Wilson put down for the second, but just trying to fight back. The grapple will connect, and these two lock up. And while Stark takes waist control, expected power, I would have to say, in favor of Zoe. But Wilson, we know, she is clever, she's crafty, very athletic as well. Stark needs to overcome that athleticism as now an arm ringer being applied, forcing Stark to a knee, keeping her there as well. The arm going to be transitioned to the back. And, well, it's a nice takedown here by Stark to escape the hold. And, well, she's got Wilson where she just had her, ringing that arm making it a very difficult position to get out of. And then another hit toss. Nice work by Zoe. But that's a face buster. Wilson ignoring that shot just to fire off the big heavy hitter. Going for the cover, only good for one, but she has certainly done some damage here, busting open Stark. Grapple attempt not going to work out, and Zoe going to happily punish. Kicks to the side and knee, and a kick down low. Forces Wilson to one knee, and then the sliding shot on point. Zoe into the cover. 1, 2. Kick out there. A much needed kick out at that. But Stark, not done. Wilson, though, she's telling her no more punishment as she hooks up Stark. Bulldog on point. Forcing Zoe out the ring. And your referee, going to be a household name here on on Underground. Oh! Screw the referee. Who cares about Big Man Lennon? That was potent offense from Wilson. Putting the head of Stark face planting into that apron. Not a pretty landing at all. Oh, even less prettier. His body meeting the metal of the steel steps. And how about a second, babe? Count of 6. Stark almost sent into them as a kind of retributional shot from Wilson. Into the ring we go. Breaking the count of 8. Stark. Belly to back suplex. Tori down. Stark looking to punish with some springboard action. The somber look. Flies into the ring. The dropkick gonna miss. She eats a chop for her efforts and then a bitch slap. There's no other word to call that. It is a pure on bitch slap. Wilson now ascends to the middle rope. Drops the axe on point. Now gonna go for the cover. Is that enough to put away Zoe? The answer is no. Count of 2. Big Man Lennon getting to watch this carnage unfoiling right in front of him. Stark finally able to reverse an inverted DDT. Imploding on itself. Zoe to fight back. She's caught Tori. Abdominal stretch applied. Wilson able to punch out of it. Up, down, head scissor takedown. An interesting escape mechanism from that. You don't typically see. And Stark gonna punish with a little 360 into the cover. 1, 2, 3. On point was Stark after absorbing some early shots from Wilson. But this is where she started to turn it around, targeting that left knee, that knee padded up knee. Clearly Wilson's had some troubles with it before, and well, Stark took advantage. Hit the big shot onto Wilson, and then that 360 on point to get the 3.
Here is your winner, Zoe Stark.
Stark earns victory here tonight. Potentially setting up a date with Thea Hale in the future. Maybe next week, who knows? That's up to Ludwig Kaiser, but for now, how about another draft round? Round 6. Let's get it. Well, the mid-year madness reaching its climax as we enter round 6 of the picks.
The Fiend, Bray Wyatt.
An interesting pickup because I didn't know he could be drafted. But the Fiend's got his brother joining the show. Yeah, I'm just getting this one off the screen. No.
AJ Styles.
Well, that's a big pickup for the Underground. He was victorious on Saturday night. Now he's joining a new brand Sunday.
William Regal.
Primetime has pipped the Regal. The Royal Man joins Primetime's roster.
Nikki Bella.
I like this pick. Fearless and flawless. Nice pick there. And The Rock is coming to Primetime. Nice. After his brother, well, his cousin Roman joined the roster. These picks are getting wild now. Superstar Billy Graham's joining Underground.
The Ultimate Warrior.
Well, we're going to get Ampy fired up for Primetime as the Ultimate Warrior's coming over.
The Fiend, Bray Wyatt.
Underground's wasting its picks. They've already got Bray Wyatt, the Fiend. They've got him again.
Sheamus.
I like this pick, though. It's banger after banger. And it's coming to Primetime. Well, draft round 6 done and dusted. The Mid-Year Madness will continue with a couple more rounds. But how about a change of pace? Let's head to our next Carnage. Well, she found her way to this show, and she's got a bazooka.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Redondo Beach, California, the ninth wonder of the world, China.
She also has Road Dogg and Triple H in her corner, it seems. The ninth wonder of the world. Ready to make an impact here on Underground. There's a lot of stars here that would love to scrap with China. And one of them is a former Prospects champion. Drafted on Primetime this week. She's gonna be let loose on this Underground roster.
And her opponent from Adelaide, Australia, Zarya.
Let the carnage commence as Zarya takes to the ring. It's gonna be a brawl and a half from this former Prospects champion. But one thing's for sure. She has free reign to challenge for any of these titles. Obviously, Primetime has that rule where if you have lost the Prospects Championship, as in you were the champion, you can no longer go for that belt. But here on Breakdown, anything goes. It's all action everywhere. And you can go for any title, no matter how many times you like. And Zarya, you gotta feel, has her sights set on gold immediately. We get underway, and that's a Hurricane Rana and a half from China. Stiff shot lands here for Zarya as she starts to make her impact known in this matchup. But the tie-up going to change. Waistlock applied here for China. Then downside headlock also gaining full mount. Zarya needs to get them legs up and over to escape the hold, but it's going to be China to actually relinquish it. Going to utilize her height and power. Deadlifts up Zarya. With ease, delivers that power slam. The cover comes through. Big man Gregathy, you're official for this bout. Up and down. China making a statement here. Knee not going to connect though. There's a statement avoided. And Zarya unloads. Stiff shots. Oh, big boot not going to work this time. Instead, it's a scoop up, but out the back door goes China and delivering a DDT to put down the former Prospects champion. Deep cover in. Pin good for one. China needs a little more here to deal with Zarya. And that could be it, the beginning of it. Another Hurricane Rana. That's how she started the match. But it's certainly a way to get through this as well. DX getting involved. Big man Gregathy almost hitting them with a kendo stick that they brought into play. But China brings her up and delivers her into the canvas with a powerbomb. And she's not done yet. Kick down low, caught. Zarya sweeps out the leg. Could have been the start of a pedigree. Instead, it's an STFU. China able to escape it. Breaks the clasp. And the ankle lock or the hook goes with it. Up to the feet we go once more. And China takes waist control. Up and just tossing Zarya around. With ease, China bringing this carnage around the ring, but Zarya escapes. DDT of her own. She looks to continue the punishment. Spear connects. Cutting in half China. And that is one fired up Zarya. Looks to ride the momentum. Has her up and down with the F5. Cover for Zarya. 1, 2. Near fall there. But that's the biggest shot of this match coming from Zarya of all people. Another whip. This time a drop down. And all the shots blocked. China back on the offensive. Gonna send Zarya over the top. Gets hung out to dry. Zarya expected it and now she looks to fly. China in the drop zone. What's Zarya thinking? Moonsault attempted, but it misses. And China with the drop kick puts her down. Now it's China's turn to fly. Splash off the second turnbuckle, but it's practically off the top. Here's the cover, and it's good for 2. Lies in wait, ready. Looking to punish, and this time she connects with a kick down low. And the pedigree follows it. Right in front of the person who taught her it. The game isn't over just yet. Zarya kicks out at 2. And she's showing her resiliency that won her that championship so long ago now. But China, a chance to strike, a chance to be on the receiving end of the carnage. The pump kick from Zarya, setting up for maybe the end. Picks her up, fireman's carry, and a little F5 into the cover. 1, 2, no! Somehow, China finds a way to kick out of the second F5. And Zarya, you know, gonna be annoyed that she couldn't get the job done. China unloads. And then a stiff shot to the back. Tries for a second. Zarya evades. Instead, she takes Zarya up top. Military press. Up higher. And down to the floor. Almost launching her out of that high position. And there's a reason she's called the ninth wonder of the world. With that extra added height. Zarya charges in, lands the leg drop. Reversing the tune of the China serenade. It's now Zarya's chance to strike. Hooks up China, forces her, no. Not going to force her into the ropes. Instead, it's China caught, backdropped. Zarya back on the offensive. Elbow drop. Forces China to ringside. Zarya gives chase. Deadlift up and down with the power bomb. Hard landing for China. But it shows the power possessed by the former Prospects champion, who slams her down with ease. And why not add some added extra deadlift, sit out powerbomb, a count of 7. That's the big concern right now. Make it an 8. Zarya gets back in. China will do the same, but there's a running STO. Zarya takes down the 9th wonder of the world. Takes her to the corner as well. I'm intrigued to see what she has planned. A scoop slam. That's what she has in mind. She's calling her target up. Zarya locked in. Into the spear, but it misses. China evades that. Zarya evades whatever China had in mind. The Irish whip. A drop down. A clothesline not going to connect. Instead, scooped up and put down. China tries to follow it up, but Zarya wisely rolls out. Road Dogg gets in the ring. China hangs Zarya out to dry. A neck breaker cover here as well. 1, 2, 3. Well, a little distraction from Road Dogg maybe just sealed the deal for China. But Zarya, I felt, was in such firm control. She put up one heck of a performance. And that spear, it's a prolific weapon. If she landed it off that middle rope, you got to feel this match was done and dusted there. And then, but no. The miss happens. A neck breaker to end it. And China victorious.
Here is your winner, the 9th wonder of the world, China!
A huge victory for China. She can start her run here in the underground. But for now, how about another round of picks? Well, let's see who ends up where. As the first pick of this round is the Dead Man. He's going to the underground.
El Grande Americana.
Well, I originally thought he was drafted to underground. Clearly not. He joins the primetime roster.
Triple H.
The Game. Well, we've already seen him here tonight. He's still here, though, in the underground.
Tatum Paxley.
Tatum Paxley, poached from Breakdown, now joins the primetime roster. To strengthen maybe up that Prospects division.
Alundra Blaze.
An interesting pick. Alundra Blaze joins Underground here. Can't say I know much about her, but it's a nice pick.
The Undertaker.
I don't know where he's going to end up, or why he's been drafted twice, but he's been drafted twice.
Bull Nakano.
That's a new pick. Bull Nakano. Set to debut now in the Underground.
Sid Justice.
Primetime gets Sid Justice.
Hulk Hogan.
We'll skip that one.
Dusty Rhodes.
Well, he gets a lot of mentions through Cody, but he's not going to be on the same show as his son. Dusty Rhodes joins Primetime. And that ends a very interesting draft round. Well, folks, them drafts really are confusing me now, but now we've got 2 stars that were drafted on Monday night. The Hitman, no more.
Is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Silsbee, Texas, weighing in at 362 pounds, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
Well, let me rephrase that. The Hitman no longer working for Mr. Solo Sikoa. Instead, he finds his way to the Underground and potentially a threat to the top championship. But to get to the top championship, you need to be victorious in multiple matches. And why not start with the King of Kings? Drafted technically in the last round, but also on Monday or whenever I did prime time. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. This week's been so weird, but yes. The King of Kings joined this roster. And now he looks to dominate and claim the throne.
And his opponent from Greenwich, Connecticut, weighing in at 255 pounds, Triple H.
Will it be game over for Mark Henry? Or will another induction to the Hall of Pain happen? A question that will receive an answer. Will Triple H be victorious? Or will Mark Henry secure the win? Well, the game starts now. As you can feel the tension rising, your first men's match here on Underground. And it's a big one at that. Both looking to make a splash here tonight. Well, Triple H tries for the quick shot. Mark Henry ready. And the headbutt flies through and then just tossing around Triple H. Another headbutt into the back. This is where we start to see how Mark Henry wants to tackle this. Just absorb the early punishment and then fire through when he can. Chop blocked. Now fireman's carry, but Triple H escapes the position. This time the chop connects. But a punch blocked and a headbutt, the receipt. Clothesline. Short one at that from Mark Henry. And you've got to feel that to deal with Mark Henry, you need to goad him in to make him mistakes. That way you can get him off his feet with ease. It's like this here. You bait him in, just force him off with them shots, and then you can come on the offensive. And that's what Triple H is doing. Forcing the big man to the ropes. Now, as we say, Mark Henry not necessarily earned his way into the showdown, but was recommended by Solo Sikoa. And you have to feel his run in the tournament, it wasn't the worst thing that I had seen. Obviously, he made it a decent way, making it to night one of the show, losing to Obafemi, which obviously was the two hitmen for Solo Sikoa, quite unfortunately drawing up against one another in round one. As obviously they were kept in separate divisions up until that night one of the tournament really kicked off the knockout stage. But Triple H busted open now here against Mark Henry. Gets picked up. And he's going to be introduced into the ring. My word, what power from Mark Henry. Launches him back in and straight into that cover. Only good for one, but he's done some damage. He is disorientating Triple H. And that is perfect strategy from the world's strongest man, if you have to say so. Triple H fights back, takes back of Mark Henry. Is he going for a submission hold here? It looks like it. But a boot to the foot and then an elbow to the back from Mark Henry. Going to stop Triple H in his tracks. Game back into the ring. Sends Mark straight into big man Lennon. Not the smartest of throws. Nor the smartest positions for the referee to get basically flattened by the world's strongest man. The crowd building behind the game as he scoops up and slams down Mark Henry. Now he can look to maybe take control of this matchup. He flies into the shoulder tackle, dropping the big man and then steps through. Targeting that leg. The big leg stumps. But Mark realizes the danger. He escapes and gets back onto his feet. A cover here. He's getting a little dirty. Using the middle rope for leverage. Referee didn't spot it, but Mark almost gets the win. And now hooks up Triple H. A scoop slam off the ropes. Up, down with the world's strongest splash. And that's a precursor. That's a game setter for this world's strongest slam. Planted center of the ring. The cover good for two. And that's all from that cover. A little more needed to put away Triple H. But Mark Henry, you know, has it. And Triple H, he needs to find his leverage point. He needs to recuperate. He's just absorbed two of the biggest shots possible. Mark Henry, well, he's coming back on the offensive. A little bit of speed out from the big man. And that could be costly, because he misses his shot. And Triple H can capitalize. The cerebral assassin. He didn't earn that name without being calculated, conniving, and a targetive SOB. The shots fly through. Irish whip. He's sent running. And catches Mark with the knee lift to set him up. Pedigree. We saw one in the last match. This time, it's good for only a 2 as well. Mark escaping that danger. Now he's back on the offensive. Drags Triple H to the corner. Not where you want to be against Mark Henry. Planted down. Right in that drop zone. And Mark, he makes a living out of crushing you from the splash. The cover is good. Welcome to the Hall of No. Staying alive is Triple H. He's not inducted just yet. And that's a good thing for him. There's a high knee. Both men busted open now. But again, sent over the top. Crash landing to the outside. Mark Henry bleeding off the side of his eye. The left side. Not the typical place you want to be bleeding. And it looks pretty potent, the blood that's flowing out of it. Game obviously blooded above the eye on his forehead. That's why he was busted open. Just tossed to the floor. Ooh. Mark introduced to the steps. It's a game. Just touring the arena. Might as well take the body everywhere. Count of 6. Mark Henry to his feet, back in the ring. The game catches him. Hooks him up. Brings him down. Arm trap. Back suplex. Not where you want to be as the game caught. He cannot get that spine buster or pedigree. And Mark Henry's going to make him pay. Scooped up. And tossed out the corner. The game in trouble. But there's the fight back he needs. That could have been a game ender. Close line. Dropping Mark Henry. And what's Triple H got in mind here? He sends to the middle rope. Calling the target up. Looking to maybe crown Mark Henry, and he does not get it. Irish whip. Mark scooped up. Going out the back door is Triple H. Belly to back suplex. Puts down Mark Henry, and this is going to be that regal knee. Dropped on the dime. Followed up with an elbow drop. Now what's the game thinking? Going to the heavens, not a place you typically see him. Launches into the shoulder tackle. That's going to be on point, and the cover comes through. Mark Henry close to the bottom rope. Not going to need it. I would have called that a rope break, but clearly Lennon's got different things on his mind. Let's take a look at these replays. Of course, we start with a pin close to the win. Frustration setting in, and then, well, why not plant him down? Scoop slam, and then the splash. Almost gets the win off that. And then he keeps going, keeps adding in the extra pressure. World's strongest slam almost inducts him there, but no induction tonight for Mark Henry. Instead, it's game over. As Triple H gets the job done. Speaking of getting the job done, can we see some more stupid draft picks that aren't technically in the pool? Why not? Let's send it to next draft round. Ah, yes. I thought that would make me skip this. It doesn't, but let's see who's heading where, and, well, the Fiend's already here. Let's add Bray Wyatt to the mix.
Paul Orndorff.
Primetime's drafting Paul Orndorff. Nice. Mr. Wonderful probably never going to get a wonderful match.
Mankind.
Nice pickup there. Welcome to Underground. Probably his best place. Mankind joins the roster. Roster? Roster.
Tavion Heights.
Well, they're securing him. He performed well earlier in the week, but Tavion Heights stays on Primetime.
Andre the Giant.
Well, they've already got the 9th wonder of the world. The 8th is another big pickup for Underground. Welcome, Andre the Giant.
Tito Santana.
Ole?
Triple H.
3 times drafted. He's staying in the Underground. Just to let you know. We've got Triple H here. After his victory. Kane. I'm pretty sure was drafted as well. But he's staying on Primetime.
Rick Rude.
Ravishing. Rick Rude enters the Underground now. And you better shut your traps when he's around.
The Iron Sheik.
Sheiky baby! Welcome to the Underground. It's a Primetime, sorry. Well, the champ is in the house. I might as well just sing his song.
Dwayne in the song every night above the top. There we all again and off the vein. The crowd is there, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Up the curtain lights go up from all. Whoa! Bang!
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 222 pounds, the Grand Prix champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
You follow me until the end. I have my kingdom, I go down. Ready now, and brutal of the show. Do it even what they hate to see. Hear the crowd on the door, waiting for me to start the show. Out the car, lights go up from home. Whoa! My father said when I was younger, I da-da-da-da-da.
Well, That's a different tune. The Underground.
From Long Island, New York, weighing in at 230 pounds, Matt Cardona!
Is getting someone who's always ready. Matt Cardona making his IPW debut in the Underground. Perfect place for him. With Rhodes, a former friend, in his first matchup as well. Well, the crowd behind the champ. I've got a feeling Cardona may change that tune if he's able to hit hard. And yeah, we don't care about that. Bang! Stiff shot to start this off. Obviously, a little heat going towards Cody as he completed the golden run through the Showdown tournament. But obviously, certain stars didn't end up in his path that have beaten him before. The likes of the current Undisputed World Champion on Primetime, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. Cody avoided that speed bump, and now has to deal with this one. That Cardona always ready, so he's going to be able to battle through what Cody has to offer. And yeah, these two go way back in terms of their friendship. I believe Cody got Matt Cardona a job in AEW as well, but Cardona quickly out the door there. Back into WWE. Don't know why I'm bringing up that bit of trivia, but hey, it's a thing that I know. As a cover here for Rhodes early. Good for the 1 count. And, well, Big Man Gregory lets you know it's only a 1. Cardona avoids the shot from Rhodes. And, well, he gets sent over the top.
Whoa! Wow! I put the voice back on. Rhodes, chasing Cardona out to ringside, sends him back into the ring. And there we have it. Rhodes eats a lariat from Cardona and roll up here. Quick one at that, and a quick kick out from Cardona to stay alive. Oh? Oh boy! I'm Mickey Mouse, and I'm bored as hell.
Joking. My
Throat really hurts me. Why am I doing this to this voice?
cover kicked out of there by Cardona. Quickly out of it as that. And then mounting some punches. He's starting to get his footing, but the champ connects as... Who's that at ringside? Well, that's Seth Rollins. He's got the champ's belt. It's a little distraction. He's just walking out with it. Cody takes it off him. And Cardona dishes out a stiff right hand. And now he takes control of this matchup. Championship laid out there. Cardona taking over. Rhodes caught, taken down. Cody tries to grapple with Cardona, but will be able to do so. Oh no. A Verdi breaker on the outside. Neck goes crashing into the floor, and Cardona just shakes it off, as you casually do, and he's going back up top, back on the offensive. Count of 7. Launches himself but lands flush on the title. Rhodes is staggered. It's just a missed shot, and that's a heavy landing. The champion lands on his championship from that German suplex. Cardona, lucky to not get DQ'd there, but he flies in. And that's a bulldog. Both men fired up now. Rhodes sent back into the ring. Cardona returns as well. Tries to launch himself into the offense, but no. Cody into the cover. 1, 2, no. Quick kick out there. As Cardona charges in. Rough Rider connecting on point. You could also call it radio silence. Either way, it's effective and gets a 2 count on Cody. The champion not looked the same since Seth's interference. But that could be setting up the big feud on Underground. Rollins and Rhodes. Well, we know that Seth's been in the hunt for the title as Cardona. Big time powerbomb gets the cover. And that almost gets the 3. Cody forced into action. Didn't escape it, but now in trouble. Spear! Cardona connects. And he's not done yet. Target locked. Called to the feet. Oh, but he misses. Rhodes evades the danger and catches him. A little crossroads from Cody. 1, 2, no. Cardona surviving. Rhodes annoyed. He thought he got the job done, but Cardona says nay. He's here for the wow! And Cody not giving it to him just yet. Springboard up and over. Cody Cutter on point. The champion lining up the target. And going for the second time across Rhodes, up and down. We've got a cover and potentially the win. Yes. The champion earns the dub. After Cardona's epic performance, he just missed that top of the turnbuckle shot. And that gave Cody the chance to strike. At this point, I thought Cardona had got him. The quick snap of that powerbomb and stacked him. Rhodes almost unable to kick out, but there we see it. Cardona misses off the top. Cody waits and pounces with the first of 2 crossroads. While it didn't put out Cardona, the tune turned and it favored Rhodes as he hit him for the second time. And this one was enough to get the win.
Here is your winner, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Well, the champion victorious here in your co-main event. Main event time. Championship on the line. Will the Underground Champion retain?
The following contest is a submission match and is for the Underground Championship.
Just because the normal stipulations of the old Underground are no longer in effect. How about we enter through the floor and yeet our way to the ring? Yeah, we're going through the floor for this. As main event, R-Truth enters the main event. And he's going after the title. Drafted on Tuesday. Competing for the championship on Sunday. Well, I better join him and get neat. Yes, I am neating with him. The kiss there as it's neat to yeet with R-Truth. Well, this is one way to amp up the crowd and amp me up for the main event, your title match. As the champion's in the house. You suck. 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 Da 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 da. Honestly, it's such a good song. But you gotta admit, when they thought of the You Suck, it just made this so much better. I know we're not talking about the matchup yet. We're not talking IPW Underground. We're just losing it here. But the main event, the stakes are on the line. That championship will be defended. You could say it's home field advantage for Kurt Angle. Undefeated in this ring, on this brand. Will he make it another? We'll find out the answer, but before that, Mike Rome, take it away with official championship introductions.
Introducing the challenger from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing in at 220 pounds. Main event, R-Truth.
Neat.
And his opponent from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 237 pounds. The Underground Champion, Kurt Angle.
Well, the crowd, the sound of the underground behind main event R-Truth for this one. Your official big man Gregothy for this submission war of attrition. The only way to win is to tap your opponent out. And the only way to tap your opponent out is to lock him up in a submission hold. And that, well, it favors the champion. The big ankle lock, his weapon of choice, as we get underway with this title matchup. Main event, R-Truth and Kurt Angle as well. A little shimmy, a yeet, and a fist to the face. Drops Kurt Angle. R-Truth missing the elbow. And, well, this will be how the start of the match has to go. It'll be a jostle and a jive for position, but an early submission hold. Angle falls back into the rear naked. R-Truth breaking out of it, a headbutt to escape it. And then up and over. DDT on point, ebb and flow. Even flow. Ooh, a super kick. Finds the target. There's a step up in Zaguri. Leg trapped one at that. That gets Angle back on the offensive, and well, this is what Angle does. When he gets you on the canvas, he targets a body part, and he will dissect it. Looked to me like he's going after the elbow and that arm of R-Truth. Just keep your eyes on that right arm. It is a target for Angle, who's already landed one moonsault. Now he sends to the heavens once more. This time to drop the elbow, and this one misses. R-Truth. Soup. Connects on point. What's up comes through. And for R-Truth, this is a matchup that ain't in his ballpark. You wouldn't say he would be favored in a submission clash. And Kurt Angle knows it. Sends him swirling into the corner. R-Truth gets his feet up. That's his big weapon, the boots of R-Truth. The super kicks, the axe kicks, the scissor kicks, you name it. It is his weapon of choice for this one. Another drop kick there, or an enziguri from R-Truth. Gets Angle to the outside. Kurt avoids the punch, comes through with his own lariat. That's going to drop the main event, R-Truth. And then come back with an uppercut. Smart targeting from Kurt. To unload some fists to the face. R-Truth's back up. He's now on the offensive. Going to return Angle to the ring. And he's also going to join him, breaking the counter at 7. Neck breaker from R-Truth. Starting to wear away at the target of Kurt Angle. Angle, we know he can go toe-to-toe with anyone. Saito suplex, the IPW special, and then the moonsault, the Kurt Angle special. And Kurt is putting R-Truth on the ropes. Truth needs to fight back, and this is where it begins. Up, Samoan drop. R-Truth off the rope, he goes, launching fist into the face. He's busted open Kurt Angle. The champ in trouble. Now, a war of attrition begins. Shot for shot exchanged. Neither missing until there, Kurt and R-Truth catching a shot. Blocking the others offensive. Chops now flying in, and bitch slaps from Truth. Chops from Kurt. Chops from Truth. Who's gonna fail? Who's gonna give up here? Well, Truth blocks another. He's got the war advantage, and he's unloading alongside Kurt in this flurry of punches. And it's an even exchange in the end of it. But Kurt caught. Truth not able to capitalize, neither is Kurt. And then the clothesline, Kurt drops Truth. This is the advantage. No! Spear for Truth! He drops the champion. The champion in trouble. Hooked up. Bow and arrow. Arm trapped. You have to feel, obviously, submission matches favor Kurt not only for the fact that he has the big prolific ankle lock, but he is a submission specialist. He knows how to get out of these holds. The super kick caught. That could be bad. It gives Kurt his ankle. But Angle's not going for that. Instead, they've been going for the angle slam. Shot caught. Truth unloading still. Hooks Kurt up, takes him up top, but Angle escaping the powerbomb position. It goes to the canvas. Truth caught. The punches fly in. The kick down south. Angle, a whip. Putting Truth in the corner. But Truth fights back. He's still battling well here. Angle's yet to be able to hit that big time maneuver he wants to. And now he's got it though. Ankle picked. Truth trapped in the ankle lock, but rope break called. Smart from Truth in his positioning. He wasn't trapped in the ankle lock for long. Kurt knows it. He needs to go back to targeting him. And this is what he's trying. That angle slam not going to work instead. Gut kick from Truth. Scoop slam as well. Truth. Shot misses. Angle will not miss. From this position. Saito suplex. And he sends to the heavens. He likes to fly in this sort of style. The floating moonsault on point. Truth rolls out. Realizes he does not want to be in a place where Kurt can tap him out. So he rolls to ringside. Now sends him into the chairs. Where? Oh, we're Barrett. And my good pal Mike Rome sit eagerly watching this bout. Truth's shot blocked. Kurt's not. He's going to send Truth into the announce desk at a count of 5. That's the danger here. It's how high this count is starting to get. The champion, though, he knows he's got a lot of time to play with. Count of 7. And he's going to send Truth. No, he's not going to send Truth into the ring. Instead, even flow. Truth planting angle at a count of 8. He needs to get back out there. The one goes up at 9. But that's a count out. Not a championship gaining win. Which means Truth has beaten the champion. But no championship follows. That's not good for Truth. He needed to get Angle back into the ring, but in the same vein, that does mean that we probably will get a title rematch between the two with no countouts involved.
Here is your winner, main event, R-Truth.
Woohoo! Well, I guess we're neating to end the night, but thank you for joining me for the first Underground in the new structure, in this new, I'm going to say it, era. If you enjoyed it, leave a like down below. We are returning to regularly scheduled broadcasting Tuesday night, prime time, heading your way, and Thursday breakdown, leaving us with Sundays for IPW Underground. Peace out.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big